What up, everybody? It's your boy Asian, and we're back once again. We are almost at a big week 4 slate of college football games, and I told you guys starting soon I will be starting my college picks, and I am starting that this week finally and for the rest of the season. Now, I picked out 10 games of this slate that I liked. I had to go with a little bit of different guys. If you're going to bet and make some money, then you need to go a little bit under the radar. So I didn't pick all the 6 ranked matchups, which would be the first time since 2006 that there will be 6 ranked matchups with both teams being ranked. So these games like that. So let's get it started, ladies and gentlemen. College football week 4, and these spreads are brought to you by MGM, is the app I use, and a lot of people use FanDuel. But this is at the time that I'm recording this. This is what it is. Now, first, I'm going to start with Florida State, number 4 Seminoles, traveling to Clemson to take on the Tigers. And what is the big game? Florida State is 1-9 their last 10, 1-9 their last 10 games in Death Valley. I'm going with Florida State to cover this and to win big to rout Clemson. I just think this Florida State team is really good, especially after last week being humbled, almost losing to Boston College 31-29. It was a barn burner. I think they'll be humble. Mike Norvell's got the guys back up and running. I just think Clemson lacks explosion on offense. Dabo is going to have to get into the NIL game in that transfer portal. I don't care what he tells you, but he knows it's catching up to him, man. So they need to get into that. So I'm going to take Florida State to win and to take the very lead away with this ACC, man. Let's go to my number 2 game of the day. Virginia Tech takes on Marshall. Yes, Marshall host. I think Marshall is a really good team led by Charles Huff heading into his 3rd season with 16-10 going into this year. I think this guy has a really good shot to get a Power 5 job this year. Maybe Michigan State. We'll see what happens. Rasheen Ali is their lead running back, who's a stud. Virginia Tech team, this team is a disaster. Grant Wills is their quarterback, but he continues to turn the ball over. It's Justin Fuente. He got fired, and then now you got Brent Pry, and I think Brent Pry is just in over his head. Virginia Tech is too much of a story program to be this bad. There's guys in the state of Virginia, the DMV area. I don't know when Virginia Tech's going to turn around, but I think Marshall's gonna get these guys, and the game won't be close. So with that being said, let's go to my number 3 game of the day. This is the game I had to look back, and I'm just gonna take what I feel like is gonna work for me. Texas A&M is -8 at home against Auburn Tigers, undefeated. Auburn struggled against a Cal team. Texas A&M got smashed by Miami a few weeks ago, and Jimbo and company need to make a statement. I think Connor Wigman behind Jaden Daniels can be the best quarterback in the SEC. I don't know what it is. They got these recruits. I don't know, but they have to put it together. And I think if this is a game to put together, this will be one for Jimbo Fisher and Bobby Petrino to put together. I'm picking Texas A&M to cover the -8. Now, let's go to probably one of the hypest, most intrigued game of the day, and that's number 19, Colorado 3-0 with primetime, heading to Austin Stadium in Oregon to take on the Oregon Ducks. Spread is -20.5 Oregon. Now, I think this is where Colorado's fall continues to go, and they get back down to earth. I think Oregon does win. I'm going to take Oregon straight up money line. I think they'll win by 17, 18 points. Win by two, maybe almost 3 possessions, but I think Colorado will just be overmatched with Shedeur Sanders, especially no Travis Hunter. He'll be out for the next 3 weeks. They have no offensive line. I think the depth is shaky for them. Defense is not good. It's been a good story thus far, but I think Oregon is much more powerful than them, so Oregon gets the win. Now, let's go to number 22. UCLA travels to Salt Lake City to take on the Utah Utes. Utah is -6. Now, there's speculation that Cam Rising will finally be back. We won't know. We won't see till Saturday. But with that being said, UCLA got the victory last year in the Rose Bowl. Now, I think Utah will redeem themselves and get this W. Dante Moore is a good freshman quarterback who I think is going to put the nation on notice, and he's from my hometown of Detroit. Got to stand up and represent. But I just think Utah is playing at home to be motivated and get the revenge, and they will win. I'm taking Utah straight up. Now let's go to the next game of the day, and this is the one where I maybe had the hardest time trying to figure out what to do with this game, and I want to go a certain way, but I changed my mind. Number 15, Ole Miss Rebels travels to Tuscaloosa to take on the 13th ranked. Yes, you heard me say the 13th ranked Alabama Crimson Tide, who already have a loss to Texas at home and struggled against a terrible South Florida team last week. Alabama's -7. I almost want to take Ole Miss in this game, but looking at the record, Lane Kiffin's 0-4 against Nick Saban. There's been a lot of trash talking in the media, him just trolling everybody like he always does. I think Nick Saban will use that as fuel. I think this will be a very low-scoring game. I think Alabama will win. I'm not taking them with the spread, but I think Alabama wins straight up 21-17. Alabama in a close one. I think they'll be able to run the ball. Jalen Miro's back at quarterback for the Crimson Tide, and I think Nick Saban will get another win. Now, let's go to the game one of my other games of the day. App State travels to Laramie, Wyoming. Yes, it's a very strange game going from North Carolina all the way to Wyoming. Wyoming's been a team on notice. They're 2-1 this year. First game of the year, winning overtime against Texas Tech, who was thought to be a sleeper in the Big 12. Craig Bohl's done a great job with this Wyoming team. Now, they can't score a lot, which I think is the reason why they might lose this game. But App State is led by the quarterback, Joey Aguilar, and the running back, Nate Noel. Sean Scott's done a terrific job since he took over for Scott Satterfield. I do think App State will cover this 3 and win this game in Laramie, Wyoming. This is a tricky game. It's a weird spot. The stadium's always rocking, but I'm going to roll with App State, who's been dominant this year. The only thing they had was a blemish on their record, was a double overtime loss to Drake May of North Carolina Tar Heels. Now, let's go over to LSU host Arkansas. Now, did I expect Arkansas to be this bad this year? No. They've got an experienced quarterback in KJ Jefferson, and they're led by Raheem Sanders, one of the best running backs in the country. But LSU is finally, I think, catching the groove after this Florida State game. It's -17.5 LSU. I think Jaden Daniels and Malik Neighbors will be unstoppable, and LSU's defensive line will get to Arkansas's quarterback because Arkansas's offensive line is horrible. I take LSU in a rout. Now, let's go over to Mississippi State travels to South Carolina, Columbia to take on the South Carolina Gamecocks. South Carolina led 14-3 at the half. They led by 14 at the half against Georgia. Now, they came in the second half and Georgia straight dominated that game. Spencer Rattler threw a couple interceptions, but he was pressured. He looked good at the beginning of the game. South Carolina just doesn't have the dogs yet to do this thing yet. So I think Mississippi State's confused. The identity. They got a new coach in Zach Arnett. Rest in peace, the old coach, Mike Leach. And Zach Arnett's under his head. South Carolina's battle tested, and I think they will dominate this game. South Carolina will win. Spencer Rattler will have a good game and continue his good year that he's having. Now let's transfer to my last game of the day. That is number 17 UNC traveling to Pitt to take on the Pitt Panthers. This is not a traditional Pitt team that I used to see. Pat Nardizzi always has these guys playing hard, and they always do good. But Drake May and the company is rolling after the win against Minnesota last week. He's starting to get his rhythm going, throwing some touchdown passes. But with that being said, field coverage is terrible for Pitt. The transfer, 4 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. I think UNC will come in and take care of business. The defense hasn't been the greatest, but I believe Drake May will lead them to a strong performance, and they will get this win. And that is my picks of the day. There's a couple other games. I know there's some big-time more games. I didn't pick the Ohio State Notre Dame game. So we all know I'm a Michigan fan, and I despise both these teams. But if I had to pick right now, I would take Ohio State to win straight up. Notre Dame wins, it wouldn't surprise me. The winner of this game has a really good path to the college football playoff. But I think this game is more important for Notre Dame just because if Ohio State loses, they can still run the Big Ten and get in. So it'll be a great game. I'll be ready to watch. So it's going to be a big, great week of games and slate for college football, man. So I'm going to keep getting my picks on, and I'm just ready for another good week of college football, man. It's your boy Adrian, and I'm out.